Imagine a world where the glamour of Hollywood's golden age meets the groundbreaking realms of science and technology. Now picture a woman at the heart of both, a mysterious figure whose breathtaking beauty graced the silver screen and whose brilliant mind leaped far beyond the constraints of her time. This is the story of Hedy Lamarr, a star whose light shone not only in the cinema, but also in the world of inventions. How did a celebrated actress, known as the most beautiful woman in the world, become a pioneering inventor whose work would pave the way for technologies we just can't live without today? Join me as we unravel the life of Hedy Lamarr, a true icon whose legacy extends far beyond the glamour of Hollywood into the very fabric of our digital age. Hedy Lamarr, a name that evokes the allure of Hollywood's golden era, a visage that became the epitome of on-screen glamour, and a mind that transcended the expectations of her time. Yet beneath the surface of this mysterious icon lay a tapestry rich with complexity, innovation, and controversy. From her early days in Vienna to her reign as a silver screen siren, and her remarkable foray into the world of science and technology, Hedy Lamarr's life was a vivid portrait of brilliance battling against the constraints of societal norms. In this video, we will dive deep into the layers that composed her public and private personas, unraveling the story of a woman who was not only a fixture in cinematic history, but also a pioneering inventor whose contributions would eventually revolutionize modern communication. Born into the heart of Vienna, Austria on November 9, 1914, Hedwig Eva Maria Keisler, who the world would come to know as Hedy Lamarr, entered a world on the brink of great change. The daughter of a successful bank director and a concert pianist, she was introduced to the arts and sciences at a young age, cultivating a dual passion that would define her extraordinary life. Even as a child, Hedy was fascinated by the theater and film, often immersing herself in the world of acting, dreaming of one day gracing the stage and screen herself. This early interest in performing arts was not just a passing childhood fancy, but a deep-seated passion that would propel her into the limelight, setting the stage for a career that would blend the world, glamour, and invention. Her early years in the culturally rich city of Vienna provided the perfect backdrop for her blossoming talents, nurturing the seeds of what would become a remarkable journey from a curious, imaginative girl to an international icon. Hedy Lamarr's foray into the world of acting began in the vibrant cultural landscape of Europe, where she quickly transitioned from aspiring actress to cinematic sensation. Her early career was marked by several roles in European films, but it was her groundbreaking performance in the Czech film Ecstasy, which came out in 1933, and this catapulted her into the spotlight and courted a lot of controversy. Ecstasy was revolutionary for its time, depicting scenes of sexual nature and female pleasure in a way that had never been seen before on the big screen. And Hedy was only 18 years old at the time, and she played the lead role of Eva, a young woman who finds passion outside of her loveless marriage. The film featured a number of daring scenes, including long shots of Lamarr swimming and running through the woods nude, as well as close-ups that left little to the imagination. However, it was the depiction of a female orgasm conveyed through Lamarr's expressive facial reactions that shattered existing taboos and ignited a firestorm of controversy. The explicit content of Ecstasy led to the film being banned or heavily censored in many countries, including the United States, and it was publicly condemned by the Pope. Despite or perhaps because of its notoriety, Ecstasy became a sensation across Europe and brought Lamarr a degree of fame which in many ways became a burden. The controversy surrounding the film followed Lamarr throughout her career, overshadowing her considerable talents as an actress and her later achievements as an inventor. Nevertheless, Ecstasy was a pivotal moment in Lamarr's life, marking her entry into the world of acting and setting the stage for her eventual move to Hollywood, where she would seek to reinvent herself and pursue a career that would allow her to become recognized for more than the scandal that had made her a household name in Europe. Hedy Lamarr's transition to Hollywood is a tale of ambition, transformation, and the birth of a cinematic legend. After capturing attention in Europe, her destiny took a pivotal turn when she caught the eye of Louis B. Mayer, the head of MGM, one of Hollywood's most prestigious studios at the time. In 1937, during Mayer's talent scouting trip to Europe, Lamarr seized the opportunity to redefine her career and life. Despite initially being offered a meager contract, her determination and strategic negotiation led to a more favorable agreement that would bring her to the shores of America and into the heart of its film industry. Upon her arrival in Hollywood, a significant transformation began. Hedwig Eva Maria Keisler, the controversial European starlet, was rebranded as Hedy Lamarr, a name that would soon become synonymous with both beauty and mystery. This name change was more than just a mere adjustment, it was a symbolic rebirth, marking her transition from the European avant-garde golden glow of Hollywood's elite. MGM was keen to capitalize on her exotic allure and intellect, positioning her as the epitome of glamour and sophistication. Lamarr's Hollywood debut came in 1938 film Algiers, where she starred opposite Charles Boyer. The movie was a success, and her performance as the stunning Gabby earned her critical acclaim, establishing her as a bankable star. Her exotic looks and accents set her apart, embodying the Hollywood fantasy of the mysterious and alluring foreign femme fatale. Lamarr's move to Hollywood was not just a career shift, but a strategic maneuver that showcased her ambition and savvy. She navigated the studio system with intelligence, using her image to her advantage while secretly harboring a passion for science and invention. Her contract with MGM marked the beginning of a new chapter, one that would see her rise to become one of the most captivating figures of the silver screen, all the while hiding a brilliant mind that would one day leave its own indelible mark on the world. Hedy Lamarr's ascent to Hollywood stardom was fast, marked by a series of performances that not only showcased her stunning beauty, but also her considerable talent and screen presence. Following her memorable debut in Algiers in 1938, where her portrayal of Gabby captivated audiences and critics alike, Lamarr quickly established herself as a leading lady of unparalleled allure and sophistication. The success of this film set the tone for her career, positioning her as the quintessential exotic beauty in the eyes of the American public and the film industry. Throughout the 1940s, Lamarr's filmography expanded with a variety of roles that highlighted her versatility and appeal. She starred alongside some of the era's most popular actors, including Clark Gable in Boomtown and Spencer Tracy in I Take This Woman, further cementing her status as a sought-after leading lady. Despite the typecasting and glamorous roles, Lamarr sought projects that challenged her and allowed her to explore different facets of her acting abilities. One of her most iconic roles came in 1949 with the biblical epic Samson and Delilah, directed by Cecile B. DeMille. Portraying Delia, Lamarr delivered one of her most memorable performances, capturing the character's complexity and allure. The film was a massive success, becoming one of the highest-grossing movies of its time and earning Lamarr critical acclaim for her performance. Samson and Delilah solidified her position as one of Hollywood's leading stars and demonstrated her ability to carry a film both commercially and artistically. Lamarr's rise to fame in Hollywood was not just a testament to her beauty, but also her skill and dedication as an actress. Despite facing the constraints of an industry that often typecasts women based on their looks, she managed to deliver performances that resonated with audiences and critics alike. Her success in films like Algiers and Samson and Delilah reflected her status as a versatile and compelling actress, capable of bringing depth and nuances to her roles. Beyond her achievements on screen, Lamarr's legacy in Hollywood is also marked by her contributions off-screen, including her pioneering work in technology, which remained largely unrecognized during her lifetime. Her dual legacy as both cinematic icon and inventor underlines the depths of her talents and her extraordinary journey from Hollywood starlet to a figure of enduring influence in both the arts and sciences. Hedy Lamarr's fascination with science and invention was an integral part of her identity as her celebrated beauty and acting talent. Despite her lack of formal education in the sciences, Lamarr was a naturally curious and inventive thinker, a trait she nurtured from a young age. Her interest in how things worked and her passion for creating were encouraged by her father, who would explain the mechanics of various devices during their walks together. This early exposure sparked a lifelong passion for science and invention, setting the stage for her remarkable contributions to technology. Lamarr's self-taught journey into the realms of science and invention was driven by her curiosity and a keen intellect that refused to be confined to the expectations of her time. Throughout her Hollywood career, she remained deeply engaged with her inventive pursuits, often working on her projects in her trailer between takes. Her living room was transformed into a makeshift laboratory where she would tinker with inventions ranging from an improved traffic stoplight to a tablet that would dissolve in water to create a carbonated drink. Her most significant scientific contribution came during World War II in collaboration with composer and inventor George Antheil. Together they developed a frequency-hopping spread spectrum technology intended to make radio-guided torpedoes more resistant to jamming by the enemy. Although the US Navy did not adopt the technology until decades later, their invention laid the foundational principles for modern wireless communication technologies, including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. Lamarr's foray into the world of invention was not just a hobby, it was a reflection of her profound understanding of the world and her desire to contribute meaningfully to it. Her achievements in this field were largely unrecognized during her lifetime, overshadowed by her Hollywood persona. However, in recent years, her pioneering work has been acknowledged and celebrated, cementing her legacy as a woman whose beauty was matched only by her brilliance and intelligence. Lamarr's passion for science and invention showcases a woman far ahead of her time, embodying the true spirit of innovation and creativity. And it's too bad she didn't get recognized really while she was alive. And Hedy Lamarr's foray into the world of science and invention is a remarkable testament to her intelligence and innovative spirit. And despite her lack of formal education in the sciences, Lamarr was a self-taught inventor whose curiosity and passion for problem solving drove her to explore complex technological concepts. Her interest in inventing was not a mere hobby, but a serious pursuit that she engaged in alongside her Hollywood career, often working on her inventions at her home drawing board. Lamarr's most significant contribution to science and technology was in World War II. In 1942, Lamarr and Antheil received a patent for their invention, officially titled Secret Communication System. Although their innovative technology was not adopted by the military until later years, its principle laid the groundwork for modern wireless technologies. And now let's dive into Hedy Lamarr's personal life. And Hedy Lamarr's personal life, particularly her marriages and relationship, was as complex and scrutinized as her public persona. Over the course of her life, Lamarr was married 6 times, each marriage bringing its own set of challenges and contributing to the narrative of a star whose off-screen life was as eventful as her on-screen performances. And her first husband was Friedrich Mandl, 1933 to 1937. And this first marriage was to a wealthy Austrian arms manufacturer, and the marriage was tumultuous, and her husband reportedly was very controlling and possessive. Lamarr's intelligence and curiosity in the sciences and technology were sparked during this time as she attended meetings and dinners with scientists and engineers. However, the oppressive nature of the marriage led Lamarr to flee from her husband and move to Paris, marking the end of her first marriage. And her second husband, Jean Marquis, from 1939 to 1941, and after establishing herself in Hollywood, Lamarr married screenwriter and producer Jean Marquis. The marriage was short-lived, and they adopted a son, James. The relationship ended in divorce, with Lamarr moving on in her search for personal happiness. Lamarr's third husband was actor John Lauder. They had 2 children together, Denise and Anthony. This marriage, like her previous ones, ended in divorce. During their marriage, Lamarr was at the peak of her Hollywood career, and the pressures of her professional life took toll on their relationship. Stauffer, a nightclub owner and former band leader, was Lamarr's husband, and their marriage was brief and ended in divorce less than a year later. And Lamarr's fifth marriage was to Texas oilman W. Howard Lee. This marriage lasted longer than her previous ones, but ultimately ended in divorce, and Lee later married film star Gene Tierney. Lamarr's final marriage was to her divorce lawyer, Louis G. Boyes. The marriage, like her others, ended in divorce. This marriage marked the end of Lamarr's ventures into matrimony. Lamarr's marriages were often characterized by a search for stability and happiness, which eluded her in her personal life. Her relationships were subject to public scrutiny and speculation, adding another layer of complexity to her life. Despite these challenges she faced in her marriages and relationships, Lamarr remained a devoted mother to her children. Her personal struggles, including her marriages, illustrate the difficulty she faced in finding personal fulfillment amidst her professional success and public image. Lamarr's quest for love and stability reflects the human side of a star. Despite her extraordinary beauty and talent, faced challenges familiar to many. Hedy Lamarr's life, filled with the glitz and glamour of Hollywood success and groundbreaking inventions, also experienced moments of personal controversy, notably her shoplifting incidents in 1966 and 1991. These events added a layer of scandal to her public image, showcasing a troubled side to the screen siren and inventor. In 1966, Lamarr was arrested for shoplifting in LA. The incident involved the theft of $86 worth of merchandise from her department store. The charges against her were eventually dropped, but the arrest made headlines, casting a shadow over her reputation. At the time, Lamarr was no longer in the limelight as she had been in the previous decades, and this incident brought her back into the public eye under less than favorable circumstances. And the second incident occurred in 1991 when Lamarr, then in her late 70s, was arrested for shoplifting in Florida. This time she was accused of stealing $21 worth of laxatives and eye drops from a drugstore. That's insane. It's only $20, just let her be, okay? Once again, the charges were eventually dropped. However, the news of the arrest brought her name back into the public sphere, reviving discussions about her personal life rather than her professional achievements or contributions to technology. These shoplifting scandals impacted Lamarr's public image in several ways. Firstly, they contributed to a narrative of a fallen star, a common trope in Hollywood where former luminaries face personal difficulties in their later life. Secondly, they overshadowed her significant contributions to film and science, with public attention focusing more on her personal troubles than on her achievements. And lastly, these incidents may have reinforced stereotypes of the volatility of celebrities, despite Lamarr's previous efforts to maintain a relatively private and dignified personal life. Hedy Lamarr's sensitivity to her public portrayals and legacy was notably demonstrated in her legal battle against the makers of the 1974 film Blazing Saddles, directed by Mel Brooks. In this classic satirical western, a character named Hedy Lamarr, played by actor Harvey Korman, served as the main antagonist. The deliberate similarity of the character's name to Lamarr's, with a slight difference in the spelling, did not amuse the actress, feeling that the use of a name so closely resembling hers for a comedic villain tarnished her public image and legacy. Lamarr took legal action against the film's creators. She filed a lawsuit claiming infringement upon her right to privacy and seeking damages for the alleged harm done to her reputation by the association with the film's negative character. The lawsuit was eventually settled out of court, with Mel Brooks stating in interviews they settled for a small sum. Brooks has also expressed his admiration for Lamarr, noting the lawsuit as a misunderstanding and highlighting his intent to never cause harm or disrespect her legacy. This legal battle underscores Lamarr's concern over how she was perceived and remembered by the public. It reflects her desire to protect her name and legacy from associations that she felt misrepresented. The lawsuit against the makers of Blazing Saddles is a testament to Lamarr's assertiveness in defending her own personal brand. Despite the humorous intent behind the character's name in the film, for Lamarr it was a matter of that warranted legal action to preserve the dignity of her name and legacy. Hedy Lamarr's decision to retreat from Hollywood and public appearances marks a significant turn in the life of one of the most mysterious figures in the entertainment industry. By the late 50s and early 60s, Lamarr had gradually faded from the spotlight, a shift driven by a combination of personal choice and the changing dynamics of Hollywood. Several factors contributed to Lamarr's withdrawal from the public. Firstly, the roles offered to her became less appealing and less frequent as she aged, a common trend in Hollywood, particularly for actresses known as much for their beauty as their talent. Lamarr had once been hailed as the most beautiful woman in the world, found herself confronting the industry's limited view of aging actresses. This reality, coupled with her own high standards for the roles she accepted, led fewer appearances on the silver screen. Moreover, Lamarr's interest in inventing and her intellectual pursuits outside of acting had always provided her with a fulfilling counterbalance to her Hollywood career. As opportunities in film dwindled, she focused more on her personal interests and life away from the camera. Personal life challenges also played a role in her retreat. Lamarr's multiple marriages and divorces, along with the shoplifting scandals, had taken a toll on her public image. The combined weight of these experiences likely influenced her decision to seek privacy and distance from the public. In her later years, Lamarr lived a relatively reclusive life, choosing to stay out of the spotlight and rarely make public appearances. She communicated with the outside world mostly through telephone, a medium she felt comfortable with, given her aversion to being photographed in her later years. This retreat was not an act of defeat, but rather a choice that allowed her to live on her own terms, away from the scrutiny and expectations of Hollywood. Lamarr's withdrawal from Hollywood and the public life reflects her complex relationship with fame. While she appreciated the opportunities and acclaim her film career provided, she also sought peace and privacy, valuing her intellectual pursuits and personal well-being over her continued public recognition. Hedy Lamarr's remarkable contributions to technology, particularly in the field of wireless communications, received significant and well-deserved recognition long after her heyday in Hollywood. Her pioneering work, initially overlooked, has been celebrated in recent years, highlighting her impact on modern technology. One of the most notable acknowledgments of Lamarr's contributions came from the Electronic Frontier Foundation, a leading organization in the defense of civil liberties in the digital world. In 1997, Lamarr was awarded the EFF Pioneer Award, an accolade that honors individuals who have made a significant contribution to the empowerment of individuals through technology. This award was a public acknowledgement of her invention of frequency-hopping spread spectrum technology, which she co-developed with George Antheil. Their invention laid the groundwork for the development of modern wireless communication technologies, including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS. And this further cemented her legacy as a pioneering inventor. Lamarr was posthumously inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2014, and this honor recognized her for her contributions to the field of wireless communications and her role in developing of the technology that makes us able to communicate today. Hedy Lamarr passed away on January 19, 2000 at the age of 85 in Castleberry, Florida. Her death marked the end of a life that had been filled with remarkable achievements in both the arts and sciences, though much of her scientific work was not widely recognized until after her passing. And thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you want me to cover any other old Hollywood movie stars or any other bios of famous people from the 20th century. And don't forget to check out some of my other videos. Alright, see you guys again soon. Bye!